You're not getting on. That's very rude. Just barge in yourself.
This is how it is. This is my version of negotiation.
Hello,
John Smith.
Andy.
Andy.
Sorry, the catch your name out. Craig to Andy.
Andy, yes. How's the journey down?
Oh, the weather was awful.
Well, I hear it's been raining recently.
And snowing as well. Weather is snowing. 30 degrees yesterday, guys.
Right, so I'm sure you're going to agree with the one of the main objectives of this meeting is so we can obviously come to mutual agreements that's beneficial to all.
Yeah, I agree, that's good.
I think that's worth the work.
So should we crack up with any questions? Start off with
Discussion. So what we would really like to ascertain is what are you looking for? What the prime principles you're looking for this is?
obviously we're going to, we need to ascertain how much you want to pay, what type of lease that we can come to an agreement on. And the type of lease, and obviously there's some other issues involved. Craig?
Alright. Yeah, what sort of rent review periods are you looking for? What's the figure you're looking for rent?
Well, ideally like to, considering looking at say the property, looking at starting off around 21,000, and then looking for kind of a lease length of 5 to 7 years with a break between 3 and 4.
21,000. Sorry, can you repeat that? What's that last one?
On a lease length of 5 to 7 years and a break 3 to 4.
The main, well, okay, let's discuss what we want. Okay, so we're looking actually for a rent of 40,000 a year. Looking at the market comparables.
Sorry, what was that?
40,000.
Yeah.
Upward only.
Every 5 years.
Yeah. And a lease length.
20-year lease length. And we're looking to commence the lease as soon as possible.
And that's full repair and insurance.
Yeah.
What was yours?
I was IR lease. Can I just ask, where did you get how did you come up with the kind of rent of 40,000?
From looking at the comparables.
So which kind of, what was the process behind?
Specifically the newer builds, because this has been recently refurbed or converted into offices 5 years ago. So it's going to be quite deep. Well, it is a decent standard, as we know.
Baldwin Street was a good comparable. It's a similar size, similar condition. Theirs was an FRI 20-year lease with rent of 50,000, but theirs was a new build in very good condition. So we came to the figure of 40,000 based on that.
And that is actually 1998 that lease was commenced as well, so it's quite a period there.
Okay.
With 13 years.
What are the things you're kind of looking for? Main objectives.
The main objectives for us, as we say, is the 20-year lease length, 40,000 rent, upward only, full repair and insurance, and then immediately to be let. Obviously, we don't want a void period.
Yeah.
Also, what we're prepared to do as well, there's obviously some certain issues with the building, the
Yeah.
gas boiler, burglar alarm, front door sticking, downstairs lavatory. Obviously, we're prepared to correct these problems. If you're prepared to come to meet us with the terms and conditions that we've offered.
Right. Just to kind of, before we start taking to the next step, I just finally ask, is there the option of subletting the property or any kind of those options there you mentioned, subletting? Because obviously it's only 3 floors, so we're just looking towards
We
whether...
would consider having that as in the lease, yeah, certainly we would consider it, but obviously we need something in return.
But that, I think as well, Craig, that would depend on, we'd be more willing to include that with a longer lease. I mean, I think we're looking at 5 to 7 years. So maybe if we would include alienation and subletting if you were to agree to a longer lease, say 20 years.
Okay. So, alright, so let's go to the next stage.
Okay, now I think we can, we've just about established what each other are looking for. So, one thing I'd like to discuss, sorry, did you guys want to take 5 minutes?
I'm good.
Good. Now, as far as the rent itself is concerned, you just correct me if I'm wrong, you advised of the figure of £40,000 per annum, is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. What's interesting is that Bristol currently has a vacancy rate of about 11% throughout the entire city of secondary office properties. Therefore, we have always the opportunity to look elsewhere. As far as comparables are concerned, I think you'd agree that the 16 Baldwin Street, £50,000 per annum, agreed in 1998, but the £50,000 itself would have actually been agreed in 2008 from the last review itself. In 2008, as I'm sure you probably agree, the property is now over-rented, almost certainly. Would you agree with that?
We would possibly agree with that. That's why we reduced it by £10,000. We feel that 10,000 reflects the market conditions, although we do take into consideration your comments.
Would you also take into consideration the fact that the 16 Broadway Street is 370 square metres, whereas ours is 300 square metres, and that's probably why it's reduced by 10,000.
Okay, but would you also consider that 33 Wine Street is 350, and that rent passing is 48,958? So
which was also agreed in 1998, which is also probably, let's be honest, is going to be over-rented as well.
Yeah, but I still think that 40,000 is a reasonable.
Also, I thought you said you were going to drop it by 10 to 30,000. So,
Did we say that, Craig?
No.
Well, with regard to 16 Baldwin Street, you stated you dropped it by 10,000
yeah.
in
Oh,
reflection of market
yeah.
conditions, so I thought the premise would exist and stretch to 33 Wine Street, is that would be in comparison as well. With that in mind, we'd be looking at, just to ascertain the real start point, we're looking at somewhere in the region of £30,000 per square annum. Is that correct?
We could consider 30,000 per annum, but there would have to be conditions tied to that. We want an FRI lease, and we want a long lease term, and we would also want upward-only rent reviews. If we were to prepare to drop to 30,000.
So you tell us a 20-year lease,
5-year rent review.
4-year rent review.
Upwards only, FYI.